Hello everyone, I'm Ania for Digit and today let's talk about the Apple Watch. Okay, there are no second thoughts that the Apple Watch is the gold standard of smartwatches, specifically the new Apple Watch Series 11, which at first glance looks almost identical to last year's Series 10. But here's the question. Is it really worth paying extra for, or is Apple just adding one more number to the box? I've been using both a 42mm Watch 10 and a 46mm Watch 11, and honestly, the difference isn't as big as Apple would like you to think. Let's dive in. Alright, so let's start with what's actually new. The Apple Watch Series 11 brings 5G cellular connectivity, up to 24 hours of battery life compared to 18 on the 10, a tough Ion X glass on the aluminum models, and a new space gray color option again on the aluminum model. Everything else from the S10 chip inside to the design, the display, even the overall size and feel is exactly the same as Series 10. So in a nutshell, the Watch Series 11 is like the Series 10 that got a little more durable, a bit more future ready, and is slightly better at staying awake, but at its core, it is still the same watch. Now let's be real for a second. Apple Watches have kind of hit a wall. They have become too good. You see, once a product perfects the basics, design, speed, ecosystem, innovation slows down, and that's where Apple is today. The Watch 11 doesn't redefine anything, it just refines things, because how much more can you possibly do with a rectangle on your wrist? So it is still the gold standard, no doubt about that, but it's also starting to feel like a Series 10S if we are being cheeky. Alright, let's get into what matters most, health and fitness, because that's where Apple keeps adding those small but meaningful touches. This year, there are 3 new additions worth talking about: Sleep Score, a workout buddy, and hypertension alerts. With the iOS 26 Sleep Score, it gives you a better look at your sleep quality, not just how long you slept, but how well you slept. It's slightly more polished on the Watch 11, but the Watch 10 gets it too thanks to software updates. Then there's the new workout buddy feature. Think of it like having a friend on your wrist, cheering you on or syncing progress with someone else. It made its debut with the Watch 11, but with iOS 26, it's also rolling out to older models as well. Finally, there's hypertension notifications, essentially alerting you if your blood pressure might be running high. It's not an actual blood pressure monitor, but it's designed to nudge you if there's a consistent pattern of elevated readings. Now, unfortunately, hypertension notifications aren't available in India yet, but once the feature rolls out, it will work on both the Series 11 and Series 10. As for Workout Buddy and Sleep Score, along with all the health and fitness features there are on the Apple Watch, they are already available on both the Series 10 and Series 11 with iOS 26, which again brings us back to the big question: should Apple even bother with yearly watch updates anymore? Now let's talk about that battery life, because this is where the size difference between my two models actually shows up. Apple says the Series 10, both the 42mm and 46mm models, lasts up to 18 hours, but in my real world use, this 42mm Watch 10 easily makes it through a day, no problems at all. And this 46mm Watch 11, this one stretches comfortably to about a day and a half. Apple claims 24 hours, but in practice, I'm getting much better numbers. Now, both use the same S10 chip, so performance is snappy on each. Honestly, you won't notice a difference in speed or anything else when switching between them. The main takeaway is that the Watch Series 11 does have that extra endurance, whether you go for the smaller 42mm model or the 46mm model. Now this is where things get interesting. The Apple Watch Series 11 starts at 46,900 rupees for the 42mm variant, while the 46mm variant, which I have, starts at 49,900 rupees. On the other hand, I have recently seen the Watch Series 10 going for as low as 32,999 and 35,999 for the 42mm and 46mm variants respectively. So while the Watch Series 11 does bring minor upgrades in terms of durability and battery life, I'm not sure if they justify spending extra, especially if you already own a Series 10. because once you add iOS 26 into the mix, the Watch 10 feels practically new. You get almost all the same features, the same performance, and a design that still looks fresh. So if you're on a Series 8 or older, the Watch Series 11 is a nice upgrade, but if you're rocking a Series 10, I would say save your money. There's really not much you are missing. So to wrap up, the Apple Watch Series 11 is a great smartwatch, but the Series 10 is also still a great smartwatch, and that's kind of the issue. Apple's at a point where it's not about innovation anymore, it's about iteration. And unless you absolutely need 5G or that little extra battery, the Watch Series 10 is still the smarter buy. Of course, if you're buying your first Apple Watch, go for the Series 11, but if you're upgrading, the Series 10 will easily keep you happy and your wallet will thank you too. Rest, tell me in the comments if you think Apple's running out of ideas for the watch, or do these small updates still excite you? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this comparison. I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.